This is a public statement and a public announcement in this live stream. Many of you may have watched the horrible videos that has come out of Edo State from the new sheriff in town. Now they said the witch cried at night and the baby died in the morning. Obviously, you know what killed that baby. Now, we are not mincing words here. The people are angry. The people want to do things that we are calming them down. Everyone must know that as it is today, the political landscape under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the illiterate governor of Edo State is confusing, is paining his eyes, and he is not able to read a common document. He has used his political, for now, let me finish my presentation before some of you can join, please. He has used his political, position as the governor of Edo State to begin to, around and to the point that the former presidential candidate of the Labour Party, in the person of His Excellency Mr. Pitobi, was almost killed today. I mean, that's get that into your head, and you begin to get the point. Today, Mr. Pitobi flew in the early hours of this morning to Edo State, and they had gone to the ADC office in Edo for an unveiling. With him were Olumide Akpata, with him also Chief John Oyegun, the former APC chairman and the former governor of that state. After the whole event, they went to Chief Oyegun's house, and the cars, most of the cars were parked outside. And these APC thugs came in, damaged, destroyed all these vehicles. They did not only destroy them, they shot at because they were thinking that they were in any of those cars. So their intent was nothing else than to kill, than to maim, than to kill His Excellency Peter Obi and Chief John Oyegun. That, people, is not acceptable. Edo State and the governor of Edo State must know this, that in any way, shape, or form, if anything happens to Peter Obi in his state, the gloves will be off. You know, I was in Abuja over the weekend and I witnessed as an observer what happened, how this election was the data, my data finished, and I had to do a new data plan. Sorry about that. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. I'm back again. Let me see if we can see me, and please confirm that you can hear me back now. Sorry about that. Just please share, like, and subscribe so that others can join. Please like, share, and subscribe. Just confirm that you can hear me in the comment section. Just confirm that you can hear me in the comment section. I hope you can hear me. MTN is really terrible here. Okay, so what I'm saying in essence is once we, this is no threat, but the establishment, yes, you can. Thank you very much. Okay, so the unfortunate thing here is, like I said, recall when the governor made the statement that if he comes to his state again, that his security will not be guaranteed. So that threat is what he has carried out. That the APC talks are the ones that are now making the state ungovernable. This is a tragedy of monumental proportion because a sitting governor, you will one day leave that seat and you're trying to, cause confusion because you have in your state. Some of them are having positions officially in your state. This is not governance. This is a test of what is going to happen in 2027. Like I was saying before, my network interrupted me. In in um, in Abuja over the weekend, we saw what happened. The mutilated results, the rigging. I said it in Gake, in Abuja. People were approaching. While you blame the party, while you blame the government, you sometimes also blame the people because people accosted us saying, Akoi voter card, because they had their own voters card, approaching people to say, you pay me, I vote. That is a tragedy that the Nigerians now see voting as a business transaction. It is indeed a tragedy, right? Indeed a tragedy that Nigerians are now selling their vote. And we, like I said, we see what happened in in Abuja, how these things happened. So that's a test run as to what is going to happen in 2027. These guys are getting more violent. What they're trying to do is to push Nigerians to become violent. But let it be clear here, we aren't cowards. What thing we must know is that even goats can bite when you push them to the wall. Even goats, when you pursue a goat to a point, he sees no route of escape. That goat will deal with you. Enough of this nonsense. Enough of this nonsense, right? How come, how come the governor of Edo State will stoop so low in doing a thing like this? Yes, I would keep on calling the Edo State government and the APC government to be the one, they are the ones behind this. When we cried, so many of you watching now, when we cried, when we said it was wrong for the governor to have said the statement he made, this is my state. Who gave you the state? You were rigged in. The results are there. Based on based on the result of RF. This is where even the judiciary is a mess. The results that was on IREV clearly proven that Isai Gadalo won that election. That Gadalo won. The PDP guy. He beat you, he beat the Labour guy, and he won the election, but it was taken away from him. A man that can barely read numbers. A man that doesn't know how to say GCFR, he said GSM. A man that cannot read his own prepared speech, talk less of reading his own budget. His own budget, he will say, oh, the numbers are too much, it's confusing me. Who wrote the budget for you then? Even when it is written in numbers, not just in figures? I mean, speaking English is not a measure of intelligence, but at least that's a measure of your communication skills to the people. Because when you govern a state that everybody, every single individual in that state does not speak one language, at least that is our lingua franca. What we saw today in Edo, it breaks one's heart. It was unprovoked. You know what it means? It was unprovoked. A people came, went to their party office, right? Came back to Oyegun's house, then you attacked them. But also, I must say thank you to Peter Obi because he shows restraint and maturity. After the incident, he did not run out of Edo or leave Edo. He continued his program. He went to St. Philomena, where the nursing school where he donated money the other time and promised that he will come back once the money given is being utilized. And he went back and he gave again. You see, we must keep doing good. We must keep doing right. We cannot run away from cucumbers and carrots. We can't. We can't run away. We cannot close shop. We can't run because we have cucumbers and carrots in the corridors of power. And if you want to know who a cucumber is, one is sitting in the Edo State Government House now. No apologies. It's stooge. Nothing but a stooge. That's what he is. Well, demands have been made, both by so many groups. There must be an investigation. Let no one jump into demonstration or into any funny activity. The demands are very simple. Today, a new IG, was appointed today, and as a result of his appointment, over either 12 or 20 other senior police officers, including DIG Frank Mba, who was touted to be among the most senior to have taken over. But there is something, this is a realm where I do not want to play when we talk about ethnic nonsense. But there is something Tinubu has always done. Do you know we are saying that the nation is under policed? And because those that are on the top to become the Inspector General of Police, or they are not of Tinubu's ethnic stock. Therefore, we have to lose all of them, retire all of them today, so that someone who is of his ethnic stock, probably who is going to do his bidding for 2023 to take over. That on its own is a tragedy of monumental proportion. One mom went to the mall. You keep saying, "Send the link." The link is there. The link is pinned up there in the comment section. So if you want to come in, you can come in with the link. Anyone watching that wants to join and have this conversation, but I found it a tragedy that these things are happening in the year 2026. Are we going backwards or are we moving forward? It's so benumbing. It's so benumbing to think how and why are these things happening? More people will move on. Imagine And now the story has it that even at some point, some other individuals were, hurt by these people. Let me see. Add. I cannot see anyone requesting, so hold on. Yeah, it's so benumbing to think that what happened today should be swept under the carpet. As Sore, Omoyele Sore said earlier, Omoyele has already called and condemned the new IG's appointment, saying that Tinubu keeps, these are his words, not mine, Tinubu keeps appointing his Yoruba brothers and sisters. I have no issue if the law, if the rule says the most senior person must be appointed. I don't care if the president is Yoruba, if the most senior person is Yoruba, based on that hierarchy, that individual must and should take over. But where you have other 12 or 20 other superior officers who are higher in rank, and you're going to retire all of them just to pave way for one person, that is injustice. And how do people then, how do you want people to give you their time in service, waiting that you eventually promote them and they can do the job in the protection of a nation, for the love of a nation? How do you want them to give you their best if in all they do, in remaining diligent, not trying to taint their record, doing everything to the books, crossing all the I's and crossing all the T's and dotting all the I's, doing things right so that they don't have scandal. And at the end of the day, what you end up having is when it matters most for them. I condemned it when General Muhammad Buhari brought in Hamid Ali to head the customs. I said that was insanity, that was stupidity, because you had high ranking, then I think there was one of the highest ranking person was a Yoruba person then. And I said I mean, this thing just makes me sick because what Buhari did was wrong. You should have allowed someone within the ranks and file of the Nigerian port authority, you know, to take over Nigerian customs. Someone in the highest rank should have taken over, but you go in and bring in retired Colonel Ali to come and head it. That was madness and stupid. Of what essence? So how do you hold people to account? Don't you know that the reason why somebody may not steal, may not commingle resources and try to keep a clean record is because that person is aiming for higher office so that he has a clean record. But if somebody knows, well, of what use? I'm not going to become the highest person. I'm not going to become a DG. I'm not going to become the highest officer, AIG, whatever it is. Then let me do all manner of nonsense and get away before time. That keeps corrupting the system. But that aside, finally, on the madness that happened in Edo, I condemn that with the strongest term. Well, I think you know the Village Boys movement has already issued a statement. Earlier today, Rescue Nigerian Alliance have already issued a statement. Coalition for the Protection of Democracy have already issued a statement, right? So a lot of people are really. Why did you tell me to buy data? I just bought 5,000 data. I mean, come on, it's ridiculous. Airtel, fix your network, I beg. It's don't get on my nerves this night, honestly. You know. Anyway, people. Again, like I said, this act in Edo is condemnable. No one, no one. And make no mistake, you see, one man went to the mall, you ran. You wanted the link. I told you where the link is. You haven't requested to join. Let me say this: be it that Atiku is the president or Peter Obi is the president, and there is an assassination attempt on Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I will speak against it because this act that happened in Edo has no place in modern history and democracy. This is this is this is violence is for the weak. Those who cannot communicate their ideas, they resort to violence. Those who can't sell their ideas, they resort to violence. Those who do not have superior argument and cannot marshal their argument, they resort to violence. And in Edo, it is very clear. The leadership of the state cannot put up their ideas in a comprehensive manner, unable to communicate, unable to sell ideas, unable to argue with superior knowledge and intelligence. What do? When all these things fail you, you resort to primitive, nonsensical attacking of others. My dear, that is weakness. That is no strength. Absolutely weakness. If you go to Njenje Media earlier today when the incident happened, we did publish the whole video. And for the benefit of those who may not have seen the video, let me quickly play a snippet here of what His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi said. Just take a listen. I'll urge you, if you're not yet following us, please follow us, like this stream, subscribe, and share with others. Let's go. Of this state, and you can see what happened in front of his house, where hoodlums came shooting. If you look at his gate and everything, let's see the bullet. At his gate, you see the cars, the damage and everything. That is where our democracy has reached. The hoodlums came for you to know what 2027 will look like. Immediately after we left the ADC headquarters in Benin, we came into the house of Chief Oyegun, the former governor, and these hoodlums came, started shooting. These are bullets. Started shooting. These are bullets. Started shooting, destroying vehicles. You see, they know Tinubu is going to lose in 2027, and they don't want peace. Let's take it for all. Let's take care. When they come out, let's take care of it. Let the police say, wait. Yes. Okay, the full video is on Njenje there. You can go there and watch the full video, right? So I think, honestly, what this current government is doing is to discourage Nigerians by means of rigging violence, to lose faith in democracy and the power of the ballot. But one thing we must, the people doing this are not up to 0.1% of the population. Where are we all? Over 90%? Are we in support of this? Even if we say 80%, even if we say they are 10 or 20%, even if we say 80% of us who think that the right things are not being done, who think that these guys are wrong and they are on a wrong trajectory, that we need to turn things around. Don't you think that we have the numbers? This is not a time to, pussyfoot anything. It is a time that we give them, time frame to do the investigation and publish that. If not, no be only one person decrease. No be only one person decrease. There is a state in Nigeria. We know when T.Y. Danjuma asked his people, defend yourself. And some people say he was calling for arm. Well, the person that was going to go and kill them, and someone is in his house to defend himself. The person going to kill the individual is not the problem, but the person that's going to defend himself. They were lucky because when the security personnel that was attached to, that went with Pitobi, they were lucky because they were at their primary post, which is to protect him at all times. So they were inside and the hoodlums were outside. So when they heard the noise and commotion and the gunshot, when the real gun, when the real rapid fire came, these guys all ran away. And I said to myself, why were you running? No Bioga. It reminds me of that Ghanaian song that says, Oga, why you dey run? No be you say you be Oga. Now why you dey run? You know, you'd have waited and meet them. It tells you these are state armed people because they didn't have a. Okay, well, I think one or two of them had automatic weapon, because if you look at the white hillocks that the fuel tank was touched. If you go out to Njenje and watch that video, you see that wasn't a pump action cartridge. That is maybe a 9 millimeter or thereabout bullet that was used on that. And the idea, if you ask me why they shot directly to that tank, probably for that car to explode and cause more confusion. How wicked would a set of people be to keep doing this? Anyway, I'm here on the ground zero. No matter what they do, we are not shaken. As you know, the Village Boys movement, the motto is we're not shaken, we're not we're unafraid, and we're not buyable. People, once more, in my summary, I say I condemn this barbaric attack on His Excellency Mr. Pitobi and Chief John Oyegun. That is an insult for an elder statesman that is approaching 90 years old. He is approaching 90, I think he's about 86 or 88. And what the young people of Edo can use to pay him back is to go attack his house while he has a guest. Cool. That is not cool. May we not sink back to the days of 1966 January and 1966 July coup. May we not get back to that level of madness again. Because that time, that 3 years of madness, set us back over 30 years. We are barely recovering from that insanity. And here we are again, politicians just for power. Power, if you don't know, is transient, my brother. Look at Wike now, barking like a dog in Abuja. He's no longer in power in River State. The tenor is fixed. No matter what, the worst case scenario is that Okpebholo wins again. At some point, he comes out. Think about it this way. 3, 4 years ago, If anyone had told El-Rufai that he would ever sleep in a DSS cell or prison, he would never. El-Rufai was larger than life. He was a sitting governor. He had powers to take someone out. He had the powers in the Nigerian street parlance to say he had the powers to do and undo. But it's no longer it's no longer in power. It's no longer in the ruling party. He says anything, the government doesn't like to invite you. When the government invites you, they know how to keep you. If they want to keep you 1, 2, 3, 4 years, heaven may not fall. So, my dear brother of Babylon, do not be too fast. Do not run faster than your shadow. Because what you have started has the capacity to degenerate into something that you may not like or may consume you. Be cautious. If you're not behind it, get the perpetrators act out within the next 24 to 72 hours. I am Mazezoke. Good night all from here.